Rob, what was the genesis of the idea of Matmonim? Can you go through, like, very, very specifically, like, you woke up one morning and you said, I want to start giving a daily shir.
Yeah, it wasn't just an epiphany of a moment. It developed over a period of time. I was realizing that the Daf Yomi movement was becoming an important tidal wave of a movement in Jewish society, not only religious society, not only Torah learning society, that people were learning the Daf Yomi, a page a day of Talmud in vast circles of people, and that this was something really important that was happening. I also realized that it's not possible to learn a page of Talmud in a day, and unless you've already learned it many times before that. The Talmud is so dense, so complex. You can spend a day on a line of Talmud. Every line has a library of books explaining it, extrapolating and interpreting it. So to try and learn a page a day is an absurd ambition in a way, and yet it's an incredible movement of people being engaged, understanding, experiencing, noticing the Torah. But I became worried that people would begin to think that that was learning. Daf Yomi is not learning. Daf Yomi is engaging with Torah. It's touring Torah. It's dabbling in Torah. And it's a wonderful social movement. It's a wonderful religious movement, but it's not really a learning process as such, unless one does something a little differently. And I thought, what could I do differently? So I thought people's attention spans are short. And that's part of the reason that Daf Yomi works, because you just, firstly, it's only an hour, and many Daf Yomi shiurim are less than an hour, much less than an hour. And in the hour, you're going through so fast from one topic to the next topic to the next topic. It's like watching a program on TV where every few seconds the scene changes because nobody can focus long enough on a single scene. So it suits short attention spans. So I thought, what would happen if we set the time limit as 20 minutes, which I've believed people could focus on. The TED Talks are 18 or 20 minutes. That's a kind of a unit of time that people are used to focusing on. Let's set it for 20 minutes. Let's choose one item from every page. Originally, I was going to teach it on yesterday's page so that people who had already learned the daf would then learn the Matmonim and realize what they'd missed. My goodness, I learned the whole daf and I didn't even notice this. I didn't even realize what unbelievable wisdom there was here. But then many of the people who listen to the Matmonim are teachers of the Daf Yomi, and they asked me to rather be working ahead so that they can listen to the Matmon before they give their shiur on the Daf Yomi. So I switched it now. We work on tomorrow's page. But the idea is just to take one thing and to show you what there is in one line of Gemara, and to take that one line and open it up, to get deep into it and open it up, see some of the complexity, see some of the nuance, see the context, and then, most important of all, extrapolate the life lesson from it, the insight, the new idea that enables you to look at life through a different lens from the lens you looked at yesterday. So that every day you start your day with a new insight. Every day you start your day with a new lens. It's not just learning Torah. That's great. Learning Torah, going through a daf. It's actually gaining a tool every single morning that you can use that very day. And I think one of the beautiful things about the Matmonim is it's freshly produced. I often say that Torah is it's like bread. It's like a bakery. You don't want yesterday's bread. You want freshly baked bread. You want an idea that was developed at 4 o'clock this morning, not at 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday morning, or 2 or 3 days ago, because the world's changing so fast. And these Matmonim are affected not only by what's on the page, I'm affected by what's happening in the world around me. And so what I find in the Matmon, what my heart and my subconscious mind links onto, is obviously affected by what's happening in the world at the moment. So they're very current in that sense, and they talk to the world where it is today and for what it's dealing with today.
How does the Rav want the community, the Matmonim community, the listeners, the learners, to interact with each other? An ideal, what would you give us as advice to how to interact with each other, how to build a community? How do you want us to grow as a community?
So I think we're looking at trying to do a few things, and all of your help would make this an actuality. Firstly, we have a website already, which is matmonim.org, and there we would like to see interaction. We would like to see people adding comments, linking the Matmon to a shiur maybe that they gave or that they heard, so that the body of knowledge grows around the Matmon and people are adding to it. Sometimes people send me the most wonderful comments. We have a Facebook page. Sometimes people put it over there. Sometimes they text or email me just some wonderful comments new ideas, taking the idea further, applying it in a way that I hadn't applied it. So individuals in the Matmonim community actually taking the learning and taking it further and sharing that with the Matmonim community would be great. So that could be done through the website, and we want to build the website and have the shiurim all available in English and in Hebrew, written and audio. And
are there any roles that some of the listeners might have in terms of their personal life that you might need volunteers for, or any kind of activities you're looking for?
Definitely, I would. So I'll tell you what we're trying to do, Benjamin, and then people can slot in with it and say, "Hi, I can help." So we're transcribing the shiurim. We've already started tagging them, so that one can index them and one can look up anywhere in the shiur. If you need something about teshuvah, you need something about tzedakah, you need something about love and marriage, you can index it and you can find the shiurim that deal with it. So we need that. So we need to build the website into something bigger. Then we need to get it out there. So through social media, I think that's one of our biggest challenges, is the too few people know about it. And thank God we have probably close to 1,000 people every day listening to it, which is amazing and wonderful, because it's boutique Torah. It's not mass Torah. It's not the kind of Torah that necessarily appeals to the masses as such, but there's certainly many, many more people that could listen to it, and it appeals to a very wide range of people who are not in learning at all. Some non-Jewish people seem to get a lot out of it, and rabbis and Magidei Shir and Rosh Yeshiva. It just has a very wide appeal, which is very humbling, and I'm very grateful for. But any way we could get it out there, we could get it further appreciated and used. The main thing is to get it used and to get this community growing where the body of knowledge grows around it. And then people have talked about establishing little communities in towns, where in cities around the world, where people who are learning the Matmonim might get together once a week and take one Matmon and go much more deeply into it, go into the sources and go beyond that, and actually use it as a regular learning forum. In Los Angeles, there are a few people who've talked to me about it. I just haven't had the chance to actually put it together. But that would be a wonderful thing to do in various different places, for there to be a Matmonim Chabura of people who get together and learn the Matmon and discuss it and take it further.